Made in Abyss is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Akihito Tsukushi. The story is set in a fantasy world where a massive enigmatic chasm known as the Abyss exists. The Abyss is divided into layers, and each layer is more perilous than the one above it. The deeper one descends into the Abyss, the more mysterious and dangerous the environment becomes. The story follows a young girl named Riko who discovers a humanoid robot boy named Reg in the upper layers of the Abyss. Reg has lost his memory but possesses extraordinary powers, including the ability to unleash powerful energy blasts. Together, Riko and Reg embark on a perilous journey into the Abyss to find Riko's long-lost mother, who is a legendary cave raider. As they delve deeper into the Abyss, they encounter various strange creatures, challenges, and uncover the mysteries of the Abyss itself. The manga explores themes of adventure, survival, friendship, and the consequences of pushing the boundaries of human exploration. Despite its initially charming experience, Made in Abyss can be quite dark and intense, dealing with the themes of sacrifice and the harsh realities of the Abyss. The series has gained acclaim for its unique world building, engaging characters, and emotional depth. So now, after the description of the manga series that I just gave you, you're probably wondering what about this could possibly, spark a controversy in K-pop. But I feel like one thing you need to keep in mind is that K-pop people are always ready for drama. K-pop people are always ready for drama, and where they can find drama, they will find it. As much as I would like to say that this just sparked from nothing, this manga series unfortunately has some very dark undertones to it. Namely themes that I cannot actually say on YouTube, but they kind of centered around child torture, and just very dark topics like that. And in reality, it's not crazy to engage in quote-unquote dark media. A lot of people do enjoy media that has to do with like true crime, thriller, torture, stuff like that. And while that may not be your taste, I genuinely feel like there is a very fine line between something just having dark themes and dark natures to it, and something actually just being downright concerning. So for us to really get into the crux of the controversy, we obviously have to name the K-pop idols that are involved. The K-pop idols that recently have been under fire namely are Subin from TXT, Wooji from 17, Taeyong from NCT, Mingi from 80s, and just recently LE SSERAFIM's Sakura. The reason why, they're all under fire currently, of course, is because they publicly praised / recommended Made in Abyss. And the thing is, Twitter has been kind of divided. Anytime there's a K-pop controversy / scandal, that there's going to be a division in K-pop Twitter. Whether it's divided in 2, in 3, or 6, there's going to be a division, and people are going to have some very polarizing views on the situation. Now, the divisions and the polarizing views in K-pop Twitter are, people who are either defending their faves and people who are attacking the K-pop idols. Now, I generally always have had a problem with K-pop Twitter and K-pop social media when it comes to K-pop scandals, because oftentimes I feel like people often forget to actually focus on the problem, like the actual core of the issue. See, when something like this happens, you start to notice how many people generally do not have any sort of media literacy. They're not able to actually analyze a situation critically. And I'm not here to throw some buzzwords or call people silly or dumb or anything, but it's one of those things where it's your immediate reaction is to either infantilize the idol and say they didn't know, or to immediately attack the idol and start a sort of bandwagon and cancel an idol that you've never liked in the first place, which kind of takes away attention from the actual issue. Where in this case, the issue with this manga / anime is the fact that the story has very inappropriate and borderline immoral themes to it. I just have to jump in here and say that I don't know why I said borderline immoral. I meant plainly immoral, because it's actually immoral and illegal. I don't know the depth of it, of how deep it goes in the manga and the anime, but the fact that those themes are included is already weird in its own sense. And the fact that the story was written in the first place, yes, the idols went and engaged in it and further spoke about it. And that's something I'm going to dive into a little bit later on. We can acknowledge when a story is good and when a plot genuinely is very engaging, but Sometimes it's like I feel like you can genuinely write a story without including some of those themes, especially the themes that we are discussing in this video. Like, I just don't know in what world adding some sort of child would make the story better or make a character better. Like, wanting to give a villain more of a story shouldn't include such themes. That's just my opinion. I want to say that I'm not here to tell you how to feel about these idols. I'm not here to debunk what they said, how they said it, when they said it. I'm not here to tell you how to feel about them. I want to open up a discussion. I genuinely do feel like all thoughts are always valid if the thoughts and the opinions come from a genuine place. You should never try to defend someone just because they're your favorite person. If what the person did was genuinely terrible, you need to interrogate the intentions behind that. And to expand off of that, I genuinely feel like with these K-pop idols that are currently under fire, their intentions behind engaging in this media and further promoting it should be interrogated. Because just because someone engaged in media that is questionable in terms of their morals and their beliefs does not automatically make them the negative thing about that media, right? But I also want to say that this is why it's always important that when a celebrity says something, recommends something, does something, you should always take it upon yourself to do further research on the situation in order to know what it is that you are engaging with. I noticed that in the situations with the idols recommending this manga slash anime, a lot of them were saying that it was either provocative, it was inappropriate, and something that you just wouldn't necessarily recommend. And to expand off of that as well, it has come to light that the Korean version of Made in Abyss is censored. So it is very, very, very likely that these idols were reading slash watching something that did not include these dark undertones. And while it may seem like I'm only focusing on the quote-unquote negatives of the series, I want to also say that this is an anime that won an award for Anime of the Year, which means there are a lot of people that enjoy it. And like, at the risk of sounding naive, I want to say that people are enjoying it because of the story behind it. That's the problem with like social media and having this boundary between people, is that you can just never know their true intentions. And when you are shown one side of them or one part of their lives all the time, you can kind of make this generalization or like assumption of what their true character is, which a lot of the time probably is not true. And I think I made a video on parasocial relationships probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but it's there on my channel somewhere. And it's an important conversation, but it's not a conversation for this particular video. Yeah, so to end off this video, I would like to basically just reiterate some of the things that I may have glazed over briefly. Is that number one, the person that really should be interrogated is the person that wrote the story. This is not me shifting blame off of the idols. Like I said, I'm not here to debunk what the idols said, what they did, whatever. We have to acknowledge that these are the people who recommended it, knowing very well what they're recommending. But you need to ask yourself, why in the world would this writer have the need to include such a theme in a story? And I'm not saying there shouldn't be any freedom of expressing your art, because you're allowed to express your art, you're writing, but at some point, it's too weird. It's genuinely too weird, and it's genuinely very concerning. And I do think that the writer would have been able to have a very good story that didn't include that, you know? The second point is that we all need to become a little bit more media literate. It's a very important skill to have in this age of social media, because when you immediately see something out of context and immediately make an assumption on an idol, it's extremely chronically online. Just because somebody engaged in something that has dark media does not make them a person with those dark characteristics. And we should not jump to make conclusions like that. It's very unhealthy, it's very strange. That is all from me for this video. Keep your eye out for other things, keep an eye out for Selena, and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, day or night, evening, morning, whatever it is. Make sure to drink something good, eat something good, and do one thing that makes you happy today. Okay, I've definitely done something that makes me happy today, and I hope you guys do too. And don't forget to free Palestine. Bye.